Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. In this video, we're going to continue on Shane's Island. So at this point, we got the base done, but we still needed some sort of structure to hold the massive wood slab that's going to go on the top of it. He wanted one side, the cantilever, a little bit more than the other, so you could fit stools and basically sit under it comfortably. So he came up with this way of using 2x2 inch steel square stock, but he wanted a little bit different design on it, so he went from nothing to like the full size 2-inch that you can see there. It's kind of like pointed at the edge, but the back side of it he just wanted to keep very minimal, square and flat. So at this point he's just attaching those to the I-beam, and it was surprising how hard it was to get those all even, because if you look from the side you could see little deviations in the I-beam, or actually maybe in the square stock, that would make them so they weren't totally lined up. But he got it so it was pretty good. So at this point we threw it in the trailer and headed over to his house. So now it was time to work on the slab. So instead of bringing it somewhere and getting it flattened, he wanted to do it a little bit of the hard way, but I think the best way. He learned actually how to put something together, make a table to flatten that huge oak slab. So he was actually able to use majority of the stock that he found in his garage. The only thing he had to buy was, I believe, just the piece of plywood that slab sat on. So at this point he has a milling bit put onto his router, and he's going on the first pass now and taking off a very small amount. It seemed like it only hit like in the very middle, and he found with that bit that he could only take off about 1/8 of an inch at a time. So it was a never-ending thing of just going back and forth and just taking a little bit off, as you can kind of hear. But after multiple passes, he was able to get it really flat. It worked out really well. You can see that backside where it was taken off. Actually, the opposite side is the top. So we had some remnant pieces left over from another project of walnut, and he decided to secure those cracks in the slab with bow ties. So he wanted to try to cut them, by hand, and actually really make them as precise as he could. He used multiple sizes to actually put them into the slab, though he did use a router to take out the majority of the material. This was the first time either of us ever did this, so it seemed to come out pretty good for the first time. So here he's just cleaning up the edges and getting it so they can fit in there really tight. So we were pretty happy with this, and you can see those massive cracks, which he actually ends up filling in with epoxy later, just to fill in all those gaps. And there was a kind of a big rot area, which kind of looks unique when you clean it out and then fill it with epoxy. We didn't get any video of that process, so we had to jump forward to the very end to show the end result. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of that video, but the next time we do that, we'll definitely show it. So now we get to the point that we want to secure this base to the floor. The tricky part about setting this base is it's so narrow and it overhangs so much on the top that we were afraid no matter how secure we made it to the floor that it was going to still rock, especially over time as things loosen up. So we were thinking about it for quite a while, and we decided to make strong backs in the floor. So basically that's going to be long pieces of 2x material that go with the bay, and it acts as like a base secure. So instead of it just bolting to the floorboards, it's going to add some beef to the bottom. So we went out to Shane's lean-to shed where he's been keeping all the stock that was basically all over the property. And it's really came in handy. Even though it doesn't look the greatest, it's really in pretty good shape. While we haven't been working at his house together, Shane has started his own projects and did a little work on his garage, as you can see there. So you can see there that we made some big, they're almost like big washes that we put under the floor that are going to help really support that base. Also, the bottom of the base was a little uneven, so we put in some washes to make it so where the bolts go through, that's the only point that touches on the base itself. So that really makes it so it doesn't rock. Or at least at this point, that's what we were hoping, because we didn't know if this idea was going to work at all, and we were hoping it wasn't just going to like teeter-totter back and forth. So we shimmed it up, and we actually had it lean back just a hair, just so on that cantilever, if people leaned on it, that it was gonna, you know, push to be level. You know, at starting off, we figured we'd try that and just see how it looked. You can see how even that is with the countertop. We really tightened them down good. We used 1/2-inch bolts, so it definitely has enough strength to hold it. And you can see here, even though it looks like that wood is holding it underneath, there's actually a space under that, under that middle piece there. So it actually holds really strong.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We didn't show it, but I was actually able to do like a full-fledged dip on that. Like I could just put all my body weight on it and then didn't move it at all. So that was pretty good, because we were really concerned about that part of it. That's what it looks like with a strong back underneath. This was a pretty cool project. Shane's been looking forward to doing this ever since the project started. I mean, the whole house project. Like, this was like the pinnacle of what he wanted to get done, and it really came out great. It was a really cool project. Took a little bit longer than we thought it would, but it was worth it because it came out really good. So now all he had to do is secure that top to the base. You can see there the epoxy has already been done. He used these inserts that help hold basically the top to the base. You put these inserts in, and then you can use a regular machine bolt to hold it down. It makes it a lot stronger instead of just putting a lag through the base into the top. So here you can see the finished product. Well guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I am going to do a video showing that build right there, the entry cabinetry. I'm just curious if you'd like to see more house renovations. My son and I are renovating this house. Let me know in the comments. If you are interested, just give me the thumbs up or just say yes. Thanks.